WrestleMania's main event is not confirmed by any stretch at all. WrestleMania is not confirmed. Michael Cole and WWE pounded that into your skulls tonight. WrestleMania is not confirmed. Even though after Friday, Cody Rhodes basically was sent out there to be The Rock's bitch. Honestly. And he basically handed over his title shot. I don't know if the company is really that stupid. I would like to think not.
They were really selling it tonight that it's not official yet. But are we going to get Roman Reigns against The Rock? Are we going to have Cody Rhodes choosing Seth Rollins? Challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. After watching this show tonight, I sat here and it felt to me, it truly felt like this is 2014 all over again. And I don't mean that to praise WWE for some wonderful creative decision that they made, because let us not forget that what happened in 2014 happened in spite of their fuck up.
I want to make this abundantly clear. There are a lot of people that think that this is one big masterminded work. I can tell you that if you think it's a masterminded work, Cody, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, and the creative team were not privy to said work before the Royal Rumble, or at least before the day of the Royal Rumble, which does pose the question, well, if they didn't call an audible, which I've confirmed they did not call an audible, CM Punk was never supposed to win the Royal Rumble, what was the plan for Cody?
The whole world is talking about WWE, and Rollins makes reference to Roman's comments about him not getting a pop, and he said, oh, looks like I got a pop tonight. And then he mentions what happened on SmackDown, and that gets booked. Like, the crowd reactions, I think, are going to be so curious to look at what happens in this segment. He references SmackDown, and the crowd boo, because that's people booing the idea of The Rock taking Cody's spot and Cody not finishing the story. He brings out Cody Rhodes. Cody comes down, and Seth Rollins says, this is the most prestigious title in the game, and the crowd boo him.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to face you at WrestleMania, and the crowd boo him.
Yeah.
This is not just a crowd that wants to see Cody Rhodes. It's a crowd that wants to see Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. Do you know why? Because they've been saying for the last 2 years, that's the story. And that's the story that people want to see. So it's amazing to look at in a little microcosm here. I feel bad for Seth that he's getting put into this position where he looks like the dorkiest of dorks.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I was so distressed from Friday night that I couldn't sleep all weekend. So I live in Indiana. Got up and actually just called in sick and drove all the way to Missouri just for Raw, because I felt like there was things that I wanted to hear that didn't get addressed. And that, from the moment you went in, just walking in, everybody was shitting all over what took place. And it was so hot and loud with Cody and Seth at the opening segment. And then after that, it was like the vibe completely changed.
Friday night, Cody said word for word, Roman, I'm coming for you, but not at WrestleMania. That's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear. So when exactly are we getting this title shot, Cody?
Based off of today, I feel that WWE is backtracking based on commentary, because they kept saying, oh, nothing's been decided yet. There's no official decision. And I'm like, are you guys backtracking on this? Because we all remember there was a specific line that Cody Rhodes said, not at WrestleMania. So why are we acting like he hasn't made a decision already? He said, not at WrestleMania. And I feel like they're just going to act like that was never said.
Meltzer says in the report that on the question of why have Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble if the plan was to do The Rock and Roman Reigns, he said he doesn't have an answer. He hasn't been able to get an answer from anybody to that question. Dave, let me tell you something. The reason that you can't get an answer to that question is because there is no logical answer to that question. Because it doesn't make any fucking sense. That's why. You don't even need to ask the question. The question is pointless because it doesn't make sense.
We have been firmly behind this guy, and it's not even about him losing last year. But we've been firmly behind this guy. and now you're gonna pull him out of the spot that he deserves to be in by your standards because he won the Rumble? This is why we need the why. This is why I need to hear Cody tell me, or why I need to hear Rock tell me why Cody stepped to the side, so I can go, oh, okay, now I get it.
Cody didn't say anything tonight. He didn't explain why he gave Rock his title shot. Not a single iota of an explanation. Seth Rollins is out there begging like a fucking hooker on Atlantic Avenue for a title match against Cody Rhodes. Brother, let me tell you something. You lost 3 straight to Cody. 1 match in a cell with a fully torn pectoral muscle. I think that ship has sailed. Nobody wants to see that again.
Roman's whole promo on SmackDown was, that is the loser's belt in the loser's bracket for, it's the consolation prize of people who couldn't beat me, now just fighting amongst themselves, the big bunch of losers that they are. And Drew said to Seth, why do you want this match? You've already lost to him 3 times. And Seth pointed to him, was like, why do you want a match with me? You've lost to me twice. I was like, oh great, so it's just a battle of losers then. Yeah. You are both going, none of it's like, these are the matches I've won. It's, no, you've lost a lot. You keep losing. And now I want to fight you to see who's the better loser of the 2 of us, I guess.
Yeah.
But they, Rocky sucks chants that were then sort of apparently muted down later in the show. And like they even made reference to it. Like they were chanting Rocky sucks, and Michael Cole was like, it's 1996 all over again.
The caller a minute ago, you could not hear the chants, the Rocky suck chants through the TV, but it was so loud in the arena, you actually had people that were drowning out other matches. And like the Kabuki Warriors you were talking about, it was so quiet. It was like dead silent for 5 minutes of the beginning of the match. And I'm just afraid that with what Cody has put in is so relatable to me that's why I drove that far, because I felt like he has given me so much. I can at least drive that far and give him back, because he's given me, a fan, that passion back.
The Rock set himself up. We are supposed to believe that The Rock set himself up to be flamed by the entire world. And again, not everybody is pissed off that The Rock is coming back and potentially facing Roman Reigns, but the reaction has been fierce on social media since Friday night. There have been articles in mainstream media about this. There was a whole article on ESPN.com about this. You'd think that The Rock was going to come back and tease his first match. How many years has it been since he's had a match? With the expectation that he was going to get booed, with the expectation that crowds were going to come to these shows and chant Rocky sucks.
If the element of work was happening, or if there's a pivot, I can tell you this was not the plan as of last week. And even then, the plans that happened last week weren't going to be the plans according to those people a week before. So much changed in rapid succession. There was not a lot of transparency here. I can tell you that much. And Fightful Select will have a lot more on this.
After everything that was heard on Raw, or what we hear from the callers, because how's it going to get better? The only way it can remotely get better is if we get the why. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Why did Cody step aside? What did Rocky say? How did we get here? The longer it goes on, I believe the worse it is for the main event.
Cody has the chance, the opportunity to choose whatever he wants. WWE made a mockery of the Royal Rumble. They basically told Cody, you can't go after this title because Dwayne's got that one tied up, but we're going to give you this one, the one that you don't want. Basically, he told everybody he didn't want Seth Rollins' title, but they're going to give it to him anyway. The look on his face on Friday was so bad, WWE had to edit it out of the clip that they put on YouTube. This man was destroyed, man, like Pharaoh was lost and gone forever. Cody needs to explain himself, because what he did on Friday, it made Cody look like a fucking loser. Whether you want to admit it or not, I love Cody, but they made him look like a loser. I'm blowing up over here. I don't give a fuck who gets what, as long as my numbers are good, man. I want Cody because it makes sense. Perception is everything. You should be doing everything in your power to making sure that Cody is number one, treated like a number one, going after the number one.
And they said The Rock, he's not a full-time guy or anything like that. He hasn't wrestled in a number of years. The Rock he's not even a wrestler, he's a brand. And it's all about protecting his brand and making himself out to look as best as he can possibly look. Yeah, I even made the comment the other day on the podcast. Yesterday, I said, this is a guy, and it's well known, that has it written into his contracts when he does a movie that he can't lose a fight. And they have to have it written out how many punches and kicks he's there to take at a fight scene. He can't lose a fight. I mean, this is a man that cares about his image. This is a man who cares about how he is portrayed.
I don't believe the WWE is screwing with Cody. I think they have his best interest in mind. But the perception right now amongst wrestling fans is that they are screwing with Cody. That's why the why is so important. Somebody has to tell me why. Cody has to tell me why he stepped aside. Why? If he was standing in front of me right now, I'd smack him in his fucking mouth and I'd be like, why did you do this? Why? You won the Royal Rumble. Why did you step aside? You had the chance to become the world heavyweight champion. Why did you step aside? Tell me. Make this make sense. I drove 800 miles to see you. Tell me.